When somebody asks me, what hand tool should I buy? There's so many different brands to choose from. It could be a long conversation. But if somebody asks me, hey, what pliers should I be looking at? It's usually a pretty short list. And usually at the top of that list is, well, let's be honest, it's Knipex. Knipex is the largest and best-selling manufacturer of pliers in the entire world. They've been doing it for 140 years. They are a multi-generational, family-run, family-owned business, and there's a lot of great history there. And on top of that, they make some really great tools. We're going to tell you all about it, where they came from, what they innovated with, what companies maybe they picked up along the way, where they're at now, what solutions they have that you might want to go with, and whether you should be considering them for your toolbox. Spoiler alert, you should be. All right, let's jump into it. Now, the first two things that somebody always asks is, the first one is, who's Knipex? I've never heard of them, which blows me away considering how long they've been doing this. The second thing is, somebody always tries to chime in to tell me that I'm pronouncing it wrong and that the K is silent. No, this issue's been put to bed. I've spoken with multiple reps directly from Germany, and they've told me the pronunciation. They even went as far as putting out a video. In fact, and that didn't silence people, they put out a t-shirt. You can literally buy a t-shirt with the correct pronunciation on it. The only variance is if you're from North America, you tend to pronounce it Knipex. Knipex. If you're from Germany, it's much shorter and faster, still 3 syllables, and it's an E sound in the middle, so it's Knipex. So it's either Knipex or Knipex. Your choice. However, either way, you got to pronounce the K. But let's talk about where these guys come from, all right? So Knipex was founded in 1882 by Carl Gustav Putsch. He founded it as a foundry, as a smithy, in his house in Kronberg, Germany. Now, Kronberg, good luck finding it on a map. It's really it's a suburb these days of what is it? How do they pronounce it? Wuppertal. It's a weird town. It's best known for its hanging train. Look up hanging train and you will find Wuppertal. I guarantee it. Anyway, he started off making carpenters and farriers pinchers, and that was their signature product, their go-to. And not much changed. I mean, they just grew the company. They hired more people. They built more products. Then in 1922, he passed away, and his son, Carl, takes over the business. At this point, there are 27 employees, making about 7,000 pliers a week. Think about that. That's some serious manufacturing back in the 20s. All right, then we move forward. In 1942, it was a terrible year for Europe, but apparently a good year for Knipex. In fact, that's when the company actually registered the brand Knipex, mainly because the last name Putsch was such a common name in Germany at the time that they needed a way to differentiate themselves, and they came up with the term Knipex. I honestly looked, I could not find if there's an actual meaning behind the name, but it's a cool name, you got to give them that. Then in 1954, the grandson of the company's founder, Carl Putsch, again, this time though, it's Carl with a K rather than with a C. The previous two were with a C, this is Carl with a K. He takes over the management, and he's really into the engineering and modernization of it. He wants to bring Knipex into the modern era, and apparently he and his wife actually lead the company into become one of the market leaders in Europe at that time. And then we didn't really see any massive kind of changes in innovation until the early 70s. 1973, they come out with the alligator pliers. This is an all-new style of pliers, of water pump pliers, where the grips are, the hinge is angled in such a way that you no longer have to grip both parts of it. And you've probably seen these demos before where they clip it onto a pipe, they stand on it, and it just holds on its own. This thing was a breakthrough, and they could be used on pipes. It could be used on bolts and nuts. It was just a game changer for the company and for professionals in the field. Then it took a while. 1984, they come out with the Cobra. Now, the Cobra, believe it or not, is actually just an iteration of the alligator. It has more points of variability there you can change, and the push-button lock on it allows you to change it quickly and easily with just one hand, unlike most sets of channel lock style, aka tongue and groove, where you have to kind of get the two pieces. You have to pick them up. You have to then figure out where the slide is and move them and then lock them back together. With this, it was one button and you could change it, all right? It was that easy. since 1984, this has become one of the top selling pliers in the world in and of its own. Then in 1988, they came out with the Cobalt Compact Bolt Cutter. Its sophisticated transmission system, its hinges there, allowed for force multiplication up to 20 times. This was allowed them to make a high leverage, high power compact bolt cutter. In 1991, they purchased I'm going to murder this, Rinsting Werkzeugs in Thuringia. I know where Thuringia is. Anyway, this is another tool company, and this was just them picking up one of their competitors and expanding their product range. And shortly thereafter, and a lot of people credit this purchase for being the one that led to the creation of the pliers wrench. Now, you could say this is just a variation on the Cobra, and that might be true, but the face on this, the head on this, allowed you to get proper engagement with anything that was flat-sided, any kind of hex or square nut. And again, it had that parallel gripping jaws with the ratchet function and the grip, so you could only have to push on one side. This actually, I have a set of these, and I absolutely love them. And then in 1996, the fourth generation takes over. Now, Ralph, no Carl this time, Ralph, who joined the company in 87, he takes over and takes Knipex worldwide. We're talking USA, China, Dubai, Japan, Mexico, Brazil, and India. In 2003, they bought Orbis. We've shown the Orbis brand before here on the channel. A lot of people don't realize they're now a fully owned subsidiary of Knipex. And then in 2006, they bought the Wheel Company also. So now they have two more traditional companies that manufacture pliers under their brands, but are really under the entire Knipex umbrella. Which leads us to today, which is that Knipex is, as I said before, the best-selling brand of pliers on the market. Now, I'm going to show you a bunch of different styles, but before I do that, one of the things that people get confused about the most is and let me see if I can show you here, what do these numbers on this mean? There we go. Those are the model numbers. What do they mean and why are they there? What this is a code, and we're going to decipher that code for you. So the first two are the model. The second two are the variation in that model. And then the third is how long the pliers are in millimeters. So if we look at mine here, this one right here, you're looking at, this is I believe it is an 02, and there you go. It's the 8702, and it's 180 millimeters. I believe that's correct. I don't have my glasses on, but I believe that's right. So the 02 means that it's got a polished head with the comfort grips, and it has the, I don't know how to pronounce this, the atramatized pliers. That's the gray finish that you see on these. But basically, the 0 means that that just has the gray finish with no comfort grip or no coating on the handles. The 1 means that it's got the dipped handles. The 2 means it's got the comfort grip. And on this, and keep calling it a comfort grip, but they actually call it a multi-surface grip because the blue area on this is much softer than the red area, which is harder. I don't think I'm exaggerating that, but it allows you, if you notice when you grip the pliers, that's the area where your hand makes contact, and the red is just kind of rounded to give it some form and support for that area. Then the 3 is chrome handles with dipped, and the 4 is just chrome handles without dipped, which is odd because you think it'd be reversed based on the previous scale. The 5 is chromed with the 2-zone grips on it. 6 is chromed with the 2-zone but insulated. So these are for electrical usage. The 7 is chromed with dipped for electrical insulated usage. And then the T, it means it has an integrated tether point. Now, one thing that's really cool is the new ones that are just coming out with on the handle. It's not on these. The handle has more form to it down here, and it has a little plug right there that you can either have a tether point on, or you can have a little color coding piece that snaps in there, so when you look down like into your bag, say you're climbing up, you're doing some work, you look down in your bag, you can see which wrench is which based on the color coding that you use. Even better, they've released the G code for that, or the 3D model for it, so you can 3D print your own to put in your wrenches to create your own codes. So that's pretty nifty. But let's take a look at what they offer there in their full catalog and see if they've got stuff that you need. All right, I'm gonna zip through these real quick because there's just hundreds, if not thousands, of different options. Basically, what you're going to see is the basic options they have under every category, and then you can, like, are they going to be short? Are they going to be long? Are they going to have insulated? Are they going to have dipped? Are they going to have the 2-zone grips? That's you're going to see as variations under everything. So I'm not going to go through all of them because of that. But let's jump into it. Pipe wrenches, water pump pliers. We talked about those. Cutting pliers, aka side cutters, stuff like that. They've got combination and multi-function pliers, everything from lineman pliers to wire strippers to needle nose, angled needle nose. We got the carpenter's pincers. Of course, this is where they started. We got concrete nippers, a variation thereof. Electronics pliers. I've talked about the nips that they have on here. Some of my favorite that are in the market. We got wire stripping and crimping tools. If you guys have been running wire, if those of you who don't know, I ran wire for years, did low voltage stuff. I ran Cat 5, Cat 6, fiber, that kind of stuff. And, Knipex makes just some amazing tools that electricians and people dealing with wire have to deal with every day. These are go-to tools for them. All right, we got cable and wire rope shears. You know that metal banding you get when you get a shipment in or something? Get yourself some good cable cutters for that. Stop screwing around. I know there's people like, you just take a pair of pliers and you grip it and you twist it and all this and eventually it breaks. Just get some shears, man, and be done with it and be safe about it. Circlip pliers, of course, that's a very niche kind of thing. Insulated tools, they're one of the top sellers. I will say Weehaw, at least in North America, has outpaced them for insulated tools, but I think Knipex is as good, if not better. Crimping pliers, again, in that wire kind of game. We got the gripping pliers. These are variations on different types of, look at that, the mechanics pliers in there, the flat nose, the round nose. We got specialty pliers. That's a revolving punch there on the left, usually seen with like leather working. Spring hose clamp pliers, bolt end nippers. That's an interesting kind of offset tool. We got pipe cutters there for PEX and PVC and stuff like that. Within the grip pliers, I will say this. I've always said that there's no company out there that makes great tools across the board. I won't say that their locking pliers are bad. I will just say that I was not impressed. I think that they function probably just fine, but the fit and finish compared to like the Malco Eagle grips or even the grip-ons, I thought were not. I would probably prefer the Milwaukee's or the Harbor Freight Bremen over these, but maybe that's just me. Now, as far as where you can buy them, this is kind of the tricky bit because a company this well known, the best selling manufacturer in the world, you think you could walk into a Home Depot and buy some. You think you could walk into a Lowe's and buy some. No, you can't. Most hardware stores don't carry them, and the ones that do don't carry a huge selection. I believe Menards has them in store. Correct me if I'm wrong. If there's a chain of stores or even a local store near you that carries them, I would love to hear about it down below in the comments. But online is a great resource for these, and we talk about them on the Deals of the Week video every Monday. If you guys don't know, every Monday I put out a video called Deals of the Week. We find all the best tool deals, and there's a lot of brands that we look for specifically because they're such great deals. This Knipex is one that I always say, if you follow the videos, that we try to find at least 1 or 2 deals on Knipex every week. And if you could do that, you can end up picking up an entire set over the course of a year or two of top-of-the-line pliers with a lifetime warranty, made in Germany, family-run business. You can get a whole set of those at essentially discount bargain kind of prices because when they do have sales, there are some great sales out there. So make sure, shameless self-promotion there, so make sure you subscribe and ring the bell. As far as, should you be considering these tools? Yeah, they're the best tools. They're the best. Somebody will say, "Oh, I could pick up a nickel with my Snap-on." I have yet looked down at a nickel and gone, "I wish I could pick that up." Oh, I could try my pliers. Point of the matter is, it's a great company. It's a company that stands behind their product. They're family owned. They make great tools. I think they make the best pliers in the business, bar none. I don't think there's even a question. The only question actually there is do you need to spend that kind of money? A full size water pump, Cobra water pump pliers is like $30, $35. On sale, it gets a little bit cheaper. There's a lot of bargain options out there these days. The patent has expired. Lots of people are making knockoffs. You can buy them about anywhere. But the question is, are they as good? And in some cases, they're pretty close. I will be honest. But if you can find it on sale, that difference gets a lot narrower. And that's the decision you have to make. Let me know. Do you have Knipex? Are you considering Knipex? Have you heard about Knipex? Did you know how to pronounce it correctly? Are you going to buy a shirt? Anyway, I'll put links to appropriate stuff down below. I'll also put a link to the Amazon store because I think that's the best place probably in the U.S. to buy them right now. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. If there's another company you'd like to see me do a full backstory on, put it down below in the comments. I always try to read the comments and respond to the ones that are necessary. Until next time, you all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.